Hey friends, I wonder if you've been enjoying the Olympics as much as I have. I have loved watching the victory celebrations. And I don't just mean those that take place on the medal stands, although it is pretty cool when you see the American flag raised for a gold medal winner. But I really enjoy watching the victory celebrations for those who don't ever make it to the medal stand. But the mere fact that they're standing at the Olympics is victory in and of itself. Against all odds, not the least of which is COVID, they made it through. To stand at the top of their sport and compete, that is victory in and of itself. And I love watching that. And I've thought about that in relation to life as a Christ follower and how similar it may be and what it looks like to live victoriously in Christ. We all face trials in our lives that will test our faith. And sometimes we will come through them unscathed, with stronger faith than ever before. Maybe like Daniel's friends who were thrown into the fire. And this is what the word says when they came out. The fire had no effect on the bodies of these men, nor was the hair of their head singed, nor were their trousers damaged, nor had the smell of fire even come upon them. They went through the fire and came out not even smelling like smoke. That is a miraculous victory that testifies to God's goodness and faithfulness. It's an incredible victory. But if they had just come out of that fire just standing, that would have been victory in and of itself. And I think that's what Paul is talking about in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, when he talks about the trials that he has faced and how he has come through them. He says, we were hard pressed in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not despairing, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed, always carrying about in the body the dying of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus also may be manifested in our bodies. What Paul is talking about is the trials of faith. And the mere fact that they came out of them still standing for the Lord is a victory in and of itself. He says, we are hard pressed in every way, but not crushed. The imagery there would be of you being your back against a wall, the enemy pressing in, and you're certain you're going to be crushed to death, but then there's just a narrow escape route that you find, and you are not crushed to death. He says, we're perplexed, but not despairing. Have you ever gotten to a point where you think you're on the right track and all of a sudden that track has been blocked and you're mystified? You don't know where to go, but then God gives you just enough light to see the next foot in front of you and the next foot after that and the next foot after that. Still perplexed at what happened, but not despairing because you're still headed down the path. Persecuted, but not forsaken. The Lord allows the enemy to come after us, to persecute us as Christ followers, but we have never been left alone in the battle. The Lord is always with us. Struck down, but not destroyed. Sometimes the enemy is allowed to strike us down. Cancer, or a car wreck, or the loss of a loved one, or the loss of a job, things that can strike us down, but they don't destroy us. We come out of them still standing for the Lord, testifying to His goodness. Always carrying about in the body the dying of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus also may be manifested in our body. Y'all, Jesus had to be crucified to be resurrected. And that's what we hang our hats on as Christ followers. Our faith means nothing if we don't believe in the resurrected Christ. And He had to face death and conquer it in order to be resurrected. And we as Christ followers carry that resurrection power within us, so that when we face trials, they can be scary. They can make us feel like we are about to be crushed or destroyed. But ultimately, God wins as long as we come out of those trials still standing, testifying to His faithfulness. Are you in a trial right now? Maybe not handling it as well as you think you should faith-wise, or have you just come out of one and you're still standing but disappointed that maybe you didn't demonstrate as strong a faith as you thought you had? Are you still standing? Let me ask that. Are you still standing, testifying to God's goodness and faithfulness? Because if you are, that's victory.